What is going on, race fans and YouTube? My name is NASCAR Fan 4348, and this morning I was gonna make a video saying how I wasn't going to talk about NASCAR Heat Evolution till the game came out. Well, that changed. So, anyways, start out again. NASCAR Heat Evolution comes out September 13, 2016 for all next-gen consoles and on Steam. This is the NASCAR Heat Evolution website, and I want to focus attention on online. They basically only really state in one sentence is to take the competition online and race against friends in the thrilling world of NASCAR. They haven't said anything much about it until today. So today, this morning, DMR NASCAR Heat announced, "Are you ready for 40 online players?" And so they give you a link, to a article for PlayStation. Now, I do want to mention that whatever is stated on this PlayStation blog could possibly be in the Xbox One version of the game, depending. There might be a few things that would be different, but we're going to assume that majority of what this article has to offer is what's also going to be applied into any other version of the game. So we're going to go down to the center of this article. I'm going to go ahead and read these two paragraphs and let you guys know what I think. There's also more down below. Anyways, it starts out by saying, but the biggest thing that we wanted to do is separate NASCAR Heat Evolution from any other NASCAR title you played before in its online competitive multiplayer. We recognize we had the power to do things never before possible in a NASCAR game, so we committed to giving players the real deal, a full field of 40 racers in online multiplayer. Yes, 40 human players all going for the checkered flag in the same race. This continues on saying, in previous NASCAR console games, each multiplayer game was hosted by a specific user, and that kind of peer-to-peer system could result in a number of issues. The host could leave, there'd be poor connection, and could negatively alter the entire race. So we built a new system where each online game's data is hosted by a server. All race data comes from that server, so the entire race experience is no longer tied to any one player. So what's cool about this, first of all, is they're adding 40 people. Everybody knows from the old Technics games that we had only, up to 16. But you couldn't even fill a lobby with 16 without having some type of lag issue. Like 16 was a lot. Like, everybody freaked out when we had 16, and everyone's like, okay, could the host hold up to it? And then sure enough, we would go another race, and our Xbox blew up. So, I mean, as an over-exaggerated term, but, I mean, that's basically what it was. Nothing went well. So, make your first game, okay, for Monster Games to create their first game in over a decade is a lot. Is a lot to say, it's surprising that they decided to go to that amount. They went all the way to 40, a full 40 car field. What's also nice about this is that, and this is probably the highlight of this video and of this article, is that they realized our issues. They realized that this peer-to-peer system had issues. So we could have, everything relied on this host. They knew it relied on that host. They knew that we were going to have poor connection and alter, everything. That is great that they know that. I mean, they have to be watching all the YouTube videos. They have to be listening to us, because that's amazing that they know that. And, I think when original articles came out for it, they just slightly touched on server-based online. I mean, everything on the Xbox One and on the PS4, and probably computer stuff too, has to be server-based in order for it to run. And there's probably a few exceptions to that. There are some games that you probably don't need it, but you still need, I think, a server to back the game up if you need online. I mean, otherwise you can't run online with the game. So, but like I said, they just touched on it in their article, and so it's nice that, as they're saying, we're putting 40 players, that we are having a server. It is hosted by a server from the game, so it doesn't say if the race experience is going to be great, but it's no longer going to be tied to any one player. So that should definitely reduce it. So if someone lags out because their Xbox freezes because it's overheating, or their internet completely cuts out, it doesn't affect the whole field, which is really nice. So continue on. that's the biggest news. Some side things is what we could now see in the game, because all the live streams that we had and whatever, those were like alpha or beta, whatever you want to call them. But anyways, you know, but we know is that those images, those, you know, videos is not the final product. But we do know that they're gonna add this. They mentioned there would be 3 different online lobbies available: the no rules lobby, the normal, and the hosted lobby. First one, no rules. If you're a beginner just looking to learn, bump and crash, or you just want to bump and crash, the no rules lobby is for you. It's a great place to practice, try things out, or just have a good time with friends. So this would be, you know, the guys who can care less about NASCAR, make, you know, mini challenges like AR12, or, you know, somebody else out there who just wants to have good old fun with the game and not worry about serious competition. They can just join that lobby and they're set to go. They can try to get a 40-car lobby, see how much fun that is. For the people who do care about, you know, racing, especially on, you know, good console racing, there's normal mode, which is for players who want to test their skill but are still looking for a good, clean, and friendly race. This is what usually I'm on for if we're looking for public races, so I'm sure there'd be a pretty good group going to that one. Hosted is for the people who want to, you know, for the more serious people. They have an option to decide which level a player can join the session. For example, if the host only wants racers level 5 or higher, he or she can then create the session to that level, and the hosts have the right to boot players from their game. So I could see a lot of people doing that. I might do the hosted one as well, you know, if I want a certain amount of people to join as well. But those are the 3 that we could see, which is really cool because that goes to every aspect. The people who could care less, and then the, you know, the kind of middle who like could care less but they still want to see the racing, and then closer to the guys who, you know, really want to race for true competition. Continuing on, it says within each of these lobbies, players have the option of joining an existing session or creating their own. When creating your own race, you're able to select the track, number of laps, fuel and tire wear, and the max number of players. Once a race has been created, it will begin in 60 seconds, whether the requested number of drivers have joined or not. So this sounds like setting up a normal lobby like we've been used to, again, selecting track, number of laps, and fuel wear, which is, again, good for a lot of people that have leagues out there because usually they set them to certain distances and certain wears. Unfortunately, due to the resources required to balance 40 separate players in one race, caution flags will not be available in online multiplayer. It's a big deal that they're not adding cautions, but it's not a big deal in a bad way. It's kind of good because, especially from the Utetniks games, having caution turned on and then going through the caution cycle, it messes up people. You can lag people out, and it would just mess up everything. So I think that is okay. Like I said, I mean, they're going big and adding 40 players right there. So, you know, I think it's okay for them to keep reducing. You know, it's kind of like Forza 6. You know, if they keep it basic and simple, it will probably run smooth. Pitting will still be available in online races depending on the race length and wear options selected. Finally, the players have the option to create a private race, which is nice. So I think the hosted is different from a private race, but I think they're still about the same. You can have a private race and invite their friends. This feature is perfect for NASCAR Heat Evolution leagues who want to host weekly races, which is nice. They are listening to the league people out there like myself and like everybody else, so I do have to thank DMR for that. That is really cool. This is another big thing too. Multiplayer will only feature human drivers on the track. So unlike Formula 1 where you can add other AI drivers, you can't do that in NASCAR. It's fine because we haven't really been able to do that. I think the older EA games you could, but you know, it's not a big deal to have other AI cars. It does mention, so if there are 24 human players in a session, you will see those 24 cars on your screen. Your starting position is determined by the previous lap times at that track. Seems simple enough. Those with faster times will start closer to the front, helping to ensure that players of equal racing ability are placed near one another for clean starts. If a player quits a race for any reason, their car will disappear from the race, but everyone else can continue to compete for the checkered flag. And that was another issue too. Like, yeah, if like they mentioned in the beginning, if the host lagged out, you know, there would be issues throughout the whole entire thing. So that is good that they're almost promising us that if we lose somebody, everybody else will lose him. Players who finish online multiplayer races will get speed points as they do in offline racing. And then they mention how like you can get PlayStation trophies. I don't know if Xbox would have something that would probably be like achievements and whatnot and stuff like that. So again, I basically read the whole thing. The beginning was the only one that, you know, was different. My thoughts on this, when I first saw everyone, you know, showing us pictures of this, like, you know, are you ready for 40 online players? You know, I wasn't too sure what to think about that. I felt like, well, I don't know if that would even work. I mean, in Nutanix games, you couldn't even get 16 people. Like, I think it was, like, you would reach 12 people in a lobby, and then if you had, like, 13 to 16 people in a lobby, then you'd have to start having problems. So, 40 is a lot. 40 is a big deal. Will we see leagues with 40 people? I don't know. But the option's out there. You can have, you know, the amount of online racers as you do in real NASCAR. Let's just say that it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. Will it hold up is the question. Will the servers that they give hold up? That's what we need to find out. But I think after reading this, after seeing the server stuff, I think I'm okay with it. Again, let me know in the comment what you think, because this is really interesting news. Again, we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm not gonna make any more assumptions. I hate doing like these, oh, I'm gonna show you guys the trailer, what are my thoughts. You know, I wanted to show this because I am an advocate online racer who likes to race with other people, you know, and cheaply, and you know, cheaply and fun, you know. So we're not going out and getting iRacing and whatnot. We can still do it on console, again, very cheaply. You know, let me know on what your you know, what your thinking is to this. I really think this is good. I really think this is going to help, and this is what a lot of people wanted to see, something better for our online racing. So thank you guys again for watching. For those who follow along with my channel, I do NASCAR and Formula 1 league, and Formula 1 2016 is coming out very soon. So I will be doing a little review video on that, just giving it my thoughts and how it handles, and then right when NASCAR Heat Evolution comes out, I will have a video for that one. So again, thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, I'm NASCAR fan 4348. I hope it recorded my audio this time, because it didn't last time. That was just a huge disaster.